Sometimes there are chapters in our story that we think aren't worth telling. But what if there's someone out there who needs to hear your story? So, I am finally doing this. I've been wanting to share this story for a while. I kept delaying it, but today is the day. I am finally going to tell you how I met my husband. Listen carefully, because just when you think you figured out who Mr. Right is in this story, you may be off. So grab your favorite drink and let's dive in. I was 17 when my parents received a phone call that changed the course of my life forever. My parents had heard about a couples retreat and they really wanted to go. They would also have messages and activities for us. The problem? They couldn't afford the tickets for all of us. We thought we wouldn't be able to go, but this phone call changed our mind. How? I'll tell you in a bit. It was a pastor from another church. He said their usual guitarist couldn't go to the retreat. Someone told him my dad played guitar and led worship at our church. So he offered to pay for all of our tickets if my dad could help out with the music during the days of the retreat. My parents were overjoyed. This was truly a blessing for them. As for me, I wasn't necessarily as excited. Technically, I wasn't supposed to be there. The services for young adults were aimed at age 18 and up, and I was only 17. Plus, I am a mixture of introvert and extrovert, but lean more towards introvert, and I could already feel a hint of social anxiety. However, I had just begun my personal relationship with Jesus, and I was so excited to hear him at this camp. So, we packed our suitcases and the day came. Yes, of course, I wondered, what if I meet my future husband at this camp? Would he be a worship leader, a guitarist, maybe someone aspiring to be a pastor or a missionary? Is he tall? What color are his eyes and hair? Many questions crossed my mind towards the drive there. After all, I am quite the daydreamer. When we arrived that first night, I remember thinking the guy playing the guitar was really cute. The next day, I eagerly anticipated the morning service, especially since I enjoyed worship time and that cute guitarist was gonna be there playing guitar. However, after the service, I realized that he had a girlfriend. So immediately, I stopped thinking about him. The thought of meeting my future husband at this camp seemed to drift away. However, every morning and every night, it felt like finding treasures in every message, reinforcing the idea that it was no mere coincidence I was there. It was like God had a special message for me. While I don't remember every single message, every day at the camp felt like the passion for Jesus within me grew more intense. However, I vividly recall the last night's message, or more precisely, the altar call made by the pastor. That was life-altering, so pay close attention. The final night, after a moving sermon, the pastor invited those who wanted to rededicate their lives to Jesus to come forward. As he was speaking, it felt like I was the only one in the room, and God was speaking directly to me. My heart raced. I was ready to respond to this calling, but then the pastor started specifying different callings: pastor, worship leader, missionary. As I saw people going forward, I became uncertain about where God may be calling me. As I sat deep in thought and questioning, the band began playing I Surrender by Hillsong. I hadn't known this song before, but its words perfectly echo the feelings of my heart. That night, I made my decision. I told God, I may not know where you're leading me or what my future is gonna look like, but I surrender completely to you. Write my story. Guide my path from now on. I also entrusted God with leading me and guiding me to my future husband, the one He would choose for me. Because I understood that God had dreams and plans tailored just for me. And part of those dreams was finding the right partner to share them with. So at the age of 17, I decided to wait for my future husband, trusting in God's perfect timing and His best for me. No, I didn't meet my future husband at this camp, but this decision became the most significant one in my life because it didn't just lead me to my future husband, it deepened my relationship with God. It marked the beginning of a spiritual journey where God would lead me step by step, holding my hand, fostering a more profound faith with Him. And that's how it all started. That's how I decided to wait for my future husband. Now, stay tuned for next episode. I may introduce you to my future guide, or I may not.